Federal designed this 45 grain American Eagle load specifically for suppressed firearms. It's definitely quiet, but is that enough to make it worth buying? Let's find out if it's any good.
See what's inside, review the velocity, and give us our unbiased opinion at the end. The numbers, they speak for themselves. Here we go. Oh my, 3 inches low? Maybe that's just a cold bore job. Get rid of that first cold bore, not terrible.
0.61 inches. 1.29 inches. 1.14 inches. 0.84 inches. 0.95 inches, with lot J18E205 finishing just under 1 inch.
Does anyone else have problems getting their mags into the KRG Bravo chassis?
.97 inches. 0.86 inches.
Of note, this second group, different lot number, has a heavy wax on them.
1.24 inches.
See what I'm dealing with here. A heavy wax. I have difficulty getting them out of their little holder. It just flakes away. Guess it gummed up and wouldn't feed into the chamber.
An inch and a half on the final group. The group's from 2 different lots, for a lot average of 1.14 inches.
Well, folks, I don't know if I'm shooting Remington Thunderbolt or Federal American Eagle. We got the suppressor hung on the front of the CZ457. We're going to give it a go without Ear Pro. See how it does. Let's check this out. Got 42 rounds. The last group we shoot will be 7 rounds. Well, it's nice and quiet. Alright.
Removing a first cold bore shot, 0.81 inches.
Wow.
.29 inches. 1.04 inches. 'Intentionally aiming to the right side to miss the downrange camera, 1.12 inches.
So we're halfway through. I'm going to pull the suppressor off and see if we have a shift or if this ammo is just that bad. Okay, so we got the suppressor removed. Let's see if we have a shift in the point of aim.
Noticeably louder without the suppressor, 1.02 inches.
Ouch.
1.19 inches.
Wow.
1.42 inches.
Alright, this last group, 7 shots. At this point, I can't say that the suppressor has made any difference in the size of the groups. Really can't say it's made a whole hell of a lot of difference either way. Huh. Wow.
Opening up to 1.37 inches.
As wildly inaccurate with or without the suppressor.
With an overall group average of 1.16 inches or 2.22 MOA.
Federal American Eagle 45 grain suppressor. Definitely quiet with the suppressor. Next up, TX22.
Do me a favor, take a moment and hit that like and subscribe.
45 grain, copper plated round nose. Good for suppressors, they say. Let's see how it does through the TX22 competition with the Lone Star Scoundrel. Got about 12 rounds, 3-inch steel at 20 yards. There you have it, folks. 12 rounds. Take a look at the numbers when we get back to the garage.
Rated at 970 feet per second, let's look at the velocity of the Federal American Eagle 45 grain copper plated round nose. Through to 1022, the average was right on the mark at 969. However, a low of 857, 12% below, and high of 1009. The CZ457 chimed in with an average of 1024, about 6% over, a low of 990, still over, and a high of 1053. With the suppressor, the TX22 was only 7% off that average, a low of 875 and a high of 919. With an SD of only 14 and an extreme spread of 43, the tightest out of the group, while the rifle accuracy issues were evident in 17 from the CZ457 and 22 from the 1022. The extreme spread, that's where it got ugly. 152 from the 1022. This is painfully evident in the accuracy. I broke down 3 rounds from each lot of Federal 45 grain suppressor, starting with lot J18E205, and here's what we found. From a low of 55.8 to a high of 56.47, nearly a 7/10 of a grain variation. The rim thickness, almost exact, 5/10,000ths of an inch. A half grain variation in the bullets. The powder, that's the bright spot, remarkably consistent at only 4/100ths of a grain variation. A quarter grain variation in the case weight. Interestingly, the total weight of the round was directly related to a lower bullet and powder case weight. All the rounds in lot H25G203 were coated with a heavy paraffin wax-like substance. The total weight was tighter with only 4/10ths of a grain difference. The rim thickness the same, a consistent 5/10,000ths of an inch. The bullet with its heavy wax coating had a tighter consistency at 0.33 grains. With a silver hue, this duplex type powder had a 4/100th of grain variation. Overall, this lot had a tighter build. A lower weight bullet and a lower priming compound were tied together. Once again, the stack component tolerances were directly tied to the total weight. So, where does it stand? The Federal American Eagle Suppressor averaged just over 1-inch groups. Neither rifle showed a clear preference, and neither produced standout results either. Velocity was on target, averaging 969 through the 1022, 1024 through the CZ457, and 898 through the TX22. More importantly, it remained subsonic across all 3 platforms. Consistency was respectable in the CZ457 and the TX22, but the 1022 showed a large 151 feet per second extreme spread that raised some questions about uniformity. Suppressor performance, this was the strongest category. Exceptionally quiet through the suppressor and showed only a slight point of impact shift. Federal American Eagle Suppressor succeeds at being quiet, but that's where the excitement ends. Accuracy was average, consistency was mixed, and several competing suppressor loads offer better overall performance. If your priority is quiet subsonic round that runs well through a suppressor, it's certainly usable, but there are better options available. Federal American Eagle Suppressor is quiet enough to impress, but not accurate enough to stand out. That's my take on it. I want to hear from you. What do you want to see tested next? Until next time, crafty Rimfireman's 10-7.